Good luck. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to our fifth race of the season at Zandvoort in the Einstein League of the Scientist Reverse Grid League. Thank you for joining and tuning in. Tonight we have to go 18 laps in a beautiful track in the Netherlands. And tonight Corleone is starting on pole, Castellfrance behind him in his Red Bull in P2. Down to P14, followed by Voltex King, Moshe, Racing Gupt, Wayne, Verstappen, Ultimate Stand, D. Cunha, Ian, Prolova, Raisin, Eskimo and Chappie in the Mercedes. The cars are now on the formation lap, warming up the tyres. Let's have a quick look who's going for which strategy, as we only have Racing Gupt and Ultimate Stand starting on the mediums, trying the ultimate strategy around here. Tonight we have a special look at both Red Bulls and at both Mercedes, who are very high up in the team championship and the constructors championship, to give you a little bit more insight. I of course have the standings here for you in our drivers championship right now. Nick is leading, who is not here today. Both Williams miss out on today's races. Nick is not here. Ultimate Stan and Casto in P2 and P3 in both Red Bulls. Dean, Jacuna in P4. Raisin and Chappie in P5 and P6 in the Mercs. They're going for big points here to improve in the Constructors and the Drivers' Championship. Red Bull is right now leading with 212 points, McLaren 173, and Williams behind him 169. As we're now moving on to the start, 4, 5 red lights are out, and if Colt Masters lets us, we're also going now, but it seems like Colt Masters pulling tricks on us again. Let's hope for the best here. As they go now. Castro with a good stall. Right behind Corleone. Oh, and there's already a crash into turn 1. Racing Gup has damage on his car. In the gravel, on the mediums. That's heartbreaking for him. And there's a Renault in Boltec scheme who also went off track. It seems like we don't have a safety car or virtual safety car. That means Corleone is still leading the race in front of Castle France. Moshe and his McLaren behind. Wayne up to P4. Ultimate Stan up to P5. Raisin overtaking Chappie. Both Mercedes with a beautiful start. Right now in P6 and P7. Ian in P8. Oliver Krolova and King Eskimo in P10. Let's have a quick look. Yeah, we have a lot of guys that improved. Starting with Moshe, improved by 1 position after him. Wayne improved by 2, Ultimate Stand by 3. And Chappie, the ultimate improvement, up to 7 positions. Bolter still losing 10, race a good 9. But here we have a battle between Ultimate Stand and Raisin on the inside. On the soft tyres, Ultimate Stand fighting for that position. There's contact made, but it seems like there's no damage. Good for both, as they can continue racing. Corleone is still in P1 under attack from Castle France, who's very close behind him. Moshe with a little wiggle. Maybe Wayne can capitalize. Moshe, as you can see, down on his ERS already, down to almost 10% in Wayne. There's a lot of ERS, a beautiful exit. Well, he's not using it. He sees the flashing light, but nothing happens here. Corleone still in front. Oh, he got tapped by Castor France. That means Castor is going into the lead. Questionable, but he's in the lead right now. And Corleone down to P6, trying to attack Ultimate Stan, going on the inside, losing the car almost. And involved in another crash. Ian bumping into him. Ian already into the pits. He must have had damage from that. That means that Wayne is going up to P3, fighting for position against Raisin, who's marching through the field. Moshe with a mistake into that sharp left-hander. Corleone and Ian both pitting right now because they have damage. Castle France leading the race out of his DRS is Moshe in P2, who's under attack from Wayne, who's also under attack from Raisin. Oh, an Ultimate Stand just went by Raisin. What happened there? No, he didn't. It's a glitch or a connection issue from Raisin that happens sometimes. And Wayne is going at Moshe here with DRS and ERS, using all of his ERS, maybe a bit unnecessary, but he makes it stick. It's a safe overtake for Wayne up to P2. Beautiful improvement by him. Also by King Eskimo, who started in P13 up to P8 right now. Raisin and Chappie switch positions. Chappie now up to P5 and Raisin down in P7. Seems like Raisin lost connection, disconnected. That means his car is much slower than all the other cars around him. I think Chappie and Proliver took advantage of that. It's their good right to do that. It's all about positions here. Chappie up to P5 with the biggest jump right now of 9 positions. As you can see, Raisin just joined the lobby again. He will be devastated to see him down to P8. But it is what it is. As Moshe and Ultimate Stan having a little scrap here. Moshe losing the position down to P4, losing his car! In the last corner, up to the banking, he lost his car. And is trying to get back on track. It's critical with red tires, ERS on, and full throttle, but sometimes it can't work for him. It's horrible. He's down to P9. As I predicted, both Red Bulls very, very strong in this race. I don't want to jinx it, but right now Castor France is in P1, Wayne in the Ferrari in P2. He's the only guy between both Red Bulls, as Ultimate Stan is in P3, Chappie in P4, following both cars in the DRS of both of them. And the main difference between all these cars is that Ultimate Stan is on the mediums. Wayne, Chappie and Castor France are on softs, as Raisin and Jan Verstappen have a little battle. Raisin gaining P7 from Verstappen. Let's see, something else is happening here. What about penalties? Right now we don't have any penalties. That's very good. But we have different tires now. We have Racing Good Ian, Corleone and Tacunia, who already pitted. All of them are mediums. If I'm not mistaken, Racing Good has to pit again, because he started on the mediums. And Verstappen is in the pits. He started on soft tires, is now on the medium ones. Ultimate Stan, meanwhile, in the meantime, overtook Wayne up to P2. 3.5 seconds behind Casto. Because they're on different strategies, that means we could have a very, very spicy battle for the lead at the end of the race. Chappie up to P4, Raisin marching through the field. Already up to P6, overtaking Eskimo. But he lost connection again, and that means Eskimos again up to P7. But no, there was a glitch. I'm very sorry. There must have been a glitch again. You cannot trust Roadmasters, unfortunately. Moshe recovered maybe from the pit stop. The other guys up to P8 now, and he and Boltex King have penalties. 3 seconds for both of them. That brings us back to Ultimate Stan, who hasn't pitted yet, is on the mediums, and could go for a very, very aggressive strategy here, and switch onto the softs a little bit earlier, trying the undercut. That means his tires won't be as good at the end of the race, but he will have a huge advantage in the first few laps after his pit stop. Let's see how that evolves. He gained around 3/10 on Castro within the last lap. As we have Chappie very, very close behind Wayne, using his ERS, allowed to use the DRS. Wayne going into the pits, avoiding the possible battle into turn 1. Pitting now for his medium tires. Let's see if there's also a wing change. Doesn't seem like it. A clean stop for him. Eskimo up to P6 right now, because he hasn't pitted yet. Racing Good also pitting now. The second stop. I think he's going onto the softs. He has to. But he's got issues there in the pits. He's got issues. And I think he's on the softs. He is on the softs. Let's have a quick look if we have a little battle here on track. We have between Boltex King and the Renault, Moshe and his McLaren, both with penalties right now. Moshe completely down on his ERS. Raisin back in the lobby. in P5 right now. The game is showing he's a lap behind. I highly doubt that. Let's have a quick look who has pitted and who has not. So on my screen it says from P9 down to P14 everyone has pitted. That means our top 8 guys still have to pit. And the pit window for mediums has opened right now. That means we will see most of the guys coming in this lap as Boltek's team is coming in right now. He's already left his pit. Mosha going up a position to P7 because of that. Eskimo up to P5. He's having a solid race down on ERS, but if he pits this lap, his ERS will increase a little bit for the time being. Raisin is back in the lobby, it seems, and he's now attacking Eskimo. As you can see, his car is left, right, and center. Eskimo defending the position. And Casto is pitting. Casto is pitting right now. That means his teammate Ultimate Stan cannot pit, because that will mean they would double stack. Horrible scenario. That means Stan is staying on track on his mediums. Not a huge problem for him, but we'll see how he can progress from here, as we have a lot of guys right now in the pits, and Ian is the guy who's gaining a massive advantage here. He's up to P4 after this incident with Corleone in the first laps. He started a very, very good recovery here. As King Eskimo also has pitted now. He's coming out in P11 on the hards. I think Jeff has put him on these hards and not himself, because the only way you could choose hards around Zandvoort is if Jeff has control over the strategy. Mosha right behind him. Let's see if we have some spicy battles. We have Young Stappen is being stalked by Boltek's King, and Ultimate Stan coming in now. We can't go to Ultimate Stan right now because we have a spicy battle between Stappen and Boltek's King. Both in the mediums. Boltek's King on fresh mediums. Stappen's mediums a few laps old. Ultimate Stan and Chappie already out of the pits. Ultimate Stan coming out in P2. Chappie right in front of Ian right now. He's smelling blood in the water. Ultimate Stan only 2 seconds behind Casterfrance. That means Ultimate Stan has put in a phenomenal in-lap and is now on his softs and hopefully gaining enough time to make it a beautiful fight at the end of the race. As we now have Dicunia stalking Boltek's King and Stappen. And Mosha right behind Eskimo, behind him racing good. A three-way fight around Zandvoort could end in tears, hopefully not. It ends in tears as Eskimo bins it like a binman into the wall. Horrible, horrible for Eskimo as he completely bins it on his hard tires. Double bad luck for him as Jeff chose to select the hard tires and Eskimo selected the quit button to put his car in the wall. And we have a lot of guys now pitting under the safety car. Chappie, Ian, Oliver, Wayne, all in the pits. Cunha too, all the medium guys switching onto soft tires right now. Ultimate Stan clapping his hands, because if Castor would have pitted, he would be in P1 easily, but now he only has to make the move on him with DRS after 2 laps And the safety car is in on fresher, softer tyres. Beautiful scenario for him. He'll play now at Youngster-Stockton, not pitting. Vortex King also not pitting. That means both up to P3 and P4. And the beautiful thing around Zandvoort is it's really freaking tight. It's nasty. And it will be even tighter, because as soon as the safety car comes in, they're all going for it, as we only have a few laps to go, and most of the guys switching to soft tires are up for a little sprint race at the end. Yeah, Slayer correcting me here in the comments, thank you for that. It was King Skimo who DNF'd, not King Eskimo, my bad. He will kick himself in the face for that, but I don't mind. Let's come back to the grid as Castor France is leading the pack behind the safety car in P1. Ultimate Stand on fresher soft tires in P2. Youngster-Stockton Vortex King both stayed out on their mediums. Chappie behind them in P5. Ian in P6, both on fresh rubber. Moshe in P7, Racing Gupt in P8, stayed out on his mediums, softs, sorry. Raisin in P9, Wayne in P10 on fresh softs, Roberto Cunha and Collier also fresh softs on P11, 12 and P13. Let's have a quick look at our penalties. And we see something horrible here. Vortex King still has his 3 seconds, but the horrible thing is that Chappie has a drive-through. And Moshe has 8 seconds of penalty. So the drive-through, let's call it absolutely bullshit for Chappie, because that means he will be at the end of the pack after he has done his drive-through. Horrible for him. Safety car is coming in this lap. That's not horrible. That means we have a 5-lap sprint race until the end, with a lot of action in front of us, as Castor France is now leading the pack, slowing the pack down, accelerating, but that means if you accelerate, you can't stop again. If you accelerate, you have to go for it. That's the rules, and you have to respect him. He's going for it. He's going for it right now. A good restart, as Ultimate Stand is not able to attack him straight away. Well, let's see if we have some attacks. We have some. Chappie against Vortex King, stay behind, not making the move here. So let's switch a bit through the field. Nothing at the end of the pack. Acuna must have had a little nap at the restart. He's 1.5 seconds behind now. Racing Cup and Raisin are going at it. It seems like Raisin. Oh, Raisin is back. Racing Cup just did him here. Unfortunately, we didn't see the move, but Racing Cup is up to P8 now in front of Raisin. As Ultimate Stand is very, very close behind Castor France right now in P2. Both are fighting for the lead here. And maybe we have a laugh in third behind both Red Bulls. In the AlphaTauri, Youngster-Stockton right now in P3 on older mediums. Let's not call them old mediums. They're 7 laps old, but it's only 4 laps to go now, and the mediums take it. As Ultimate Stand is now stalking Castor France through the last corner onto the banking. Ultimate Stand using a bit of his ERS, now using all of it. Not all of it, trying to stay in the slipstream, going on the inside. Castor France on the outside, trying to defend that position. Castor France still in the lead. Ultimate Stand taking it now on the inside into that tricky left hand by Castor France, putting his nose in. The Ultimate Stand is still there on the outside, and he's taking him now. Side by side, both Red Bulls. Phenomenal fight between those guys. Ultimate Stand snatching the lead here. Castor France down to P2. But he can't be too disappointed, because he has Youngster-Stockton just half a second behind him, as Racing Gup is collecting a 3-second time penalty. And Chappie still has his drive-through. As I've already said, horrible scenario for Chappie. up here for some good points, but it seems like the drive here is ruining everything. Ian will be laughing and clapping his hands as he's going up to P4 because of that. And Chappie's coming into the pits right now to take his drive through. That means everybody's going up one position. Racing Cup now up to P6. Oh, we have a little thing here. Racing Cup trying to go on the inside of Moshe, and he does it. Beautiful move by Raisin up to P7. And Chappie, as predicted, coming out of the pits now in last position behind Corleone and Ticunia in P13. Let's switch to the front as Youngster Stutton is smelling blood in the water behind Castor France. Just 4/10 behind him. That means DRS is available for him. I think this lap or the next lap, I'm not sure. It's this lap, as we can see. And he's using it now to set up a move on the pit straight. That could be something. Oh, and Raisin and Vortexing have a little scrap, and Raisin has to go through the gravel, losing a lot of positions. He's losing almost. He's stopping, and now he's back in P6. Thank you, Codemasters, for absolutely fucking nothing. We won't take a look at Raisin again. Sorry for Raisin, but if Codemasters, I'm not going back there. Youngster stopping just 3/10 behind Castor France. That means he didn't overtake him on the pit straight. Ian closing the gap on his softs, a little bit older, 8 laps out right now. He makes them still work, staying in the DRS of Youngster Stutton Racing Cup, around 3 seconds behind. He has a little train behind him. And Raisin, Vortex King, and Moshe, Wayne, they're all behind there, all in the DRS. It's a fucking DRS train between them. As Ultimate Stan has a comfortable lead right now, 2 seconds in front of Castor France. That means no threat from behind regarding DRS. And just Statman. Oh, Ian is there. Ian wants it. Ian wants to make it spicy. I love it. Bring it, Ian. Bring it. Youngster Stutton using his ERS. Has got the DRS. Tried to go on the outside of Castor France. Has him into turn 1. Ian staying behind Castor France, losing the position. And Youngster Stutton up to P2. And we're on the last lap, boys. Last lap. Ian has no ERS left. Castor neither. Nor does Stutton. Ultimate Stand doesn't care, as he's comfortable in the lead. Let's see if we have some battles here. Racing Cup behind Raisin. That's close, as we have a DS train here, but right now it seems nobody's going for it. Completely understandable. Ultimate Stand leading comfortably. Stutton P2. And Ian wants it. Ian wants it, but he has to fight for it. He needs a mistake from Casto. Riding the curve here. Staying very close. Trying to get the slipstream into the banking. ERS, last bits. As Ultimate Stand is crossing the line. Winning the Zandvoort GP. Followed by Stutton, Castor France, Ian. Raisin in P5. Racing Cup. Wayne is going up to P5 because of penalties. Wayne is up to P5 for all about P6. What a race. Action-packed. Boys, there was something at the end. Switching positions all over. And Ian getting the drive of the day. Finishing in P4. Starting in P9 or P10. Beautiful race by him. Very good result. Only 1 DNF around Zandvoort. That's pretty rare. Good job, boys. Ultimate Stan, congratulations on your win around Zandvoort. You deserve that. You made the alternate strategy work. A little bit of luck, with the safety car, but in the end, you don't need luck when you got skill. So beautiful race by him. Just up and finishing in P2. And Castellfrance in P3. Here we have the final standings. Our podium, Ian finishing in P4. Wayne up to P5, staying penalty free. As does Pro Oliver in P6. Racing Gupt, Boltex King and Dicunia behind. Chappie in P10, recovering a little bit from his drive-through. Corleone in P11. Mosha P12. Raisin P13. And Eskimo DNF'd. I'm not sure why Raisin is in P13, but there must be a reason. Or Codemasters jinxed it again, who knows. But right now, that's the final standings around Zandvoort. We see you again in around 5 minutes when we're starting with our second stream of the night around France. See you in a bit, boys. Take care.